Hello guys, hope you are all doing good. In this video, we will talk about some of the major features specifically for developers um, which can basically help you improve your development time or some of the additional enhancements which has come up, and so we'll just have a detailed look into it. As you can see on my screen, the first one is on the parameter actions. Before that, let me tell you that this is specific to 2019.2 version. Maybe there are some new features which has come up. Just at a brief, it will definitely help you from 2019.2 as well. So to start with, yeah, the first one is we have parameter actions. As most of you know that parameters are always static, or it is manual, that you have to manually update their values. With 2019.2, you now have an option to update the parametric values dynamically. And how do we do that? You also got an action filter. So with the help of action filter, now you can automatically change the values of your parameter. So that is going to be a lot of fun when you're developing with some of the complex scenarios. And the next one is basically on the vector maps. So if you want to have a better mapping experience, so now this will also help you to enhance your look and feel for your Tableau dashboards. And the third one is basically we got two new functions, which is basically make point and make line. And this is extremely useful for you, that if you are defining any kind of visualizations which has a connectivity between each data point, probably you can use these functions and come up with a visualization. But how does it look actually? Let me just go back to my Tableau dashboard, and let me go to the sheet where it has the start point. uh, yeah, over here. So as you can see from here, currently Bali is selected. Let me change that to New York. Let me go to, yeah. Now if you see here, my start point is automatically changed. So this is going to be a new function. Maybe you can use this to come up with some visualization which has a connectivity between your data points. Let me go back to the presentation. And nested sorting, obviously sorting is already available in Tableau, but what if you have multiple level of dimensions and your sorting has to work at all the levels? So there were some couple of issues in previous version, which is 2019.1, I believe. From 19.2, automatically, whenever you expand, example in hierarchy, your sorting will there was an issue that the sorting will not get inherited. But now, since it's a minor improvement, but still your automatically your inheritance will happen to all level of hierarchies. And the next good beautiful feature which we have got is the dashboard zone names. So now whenever you are designing a dashboard, imagine if you see on this particular section, you have a lot of containers which you have used, and say you want to define the particular container which you have designed only for filters, but there are some kind of padding which has to be set. But how do you know that where is your container available from your hierarchy? So it is manually, you have to go select the container and then go to the layout to find out. But now with the zone name, you can actually name a particular set of containers to define that it belongs to filter section, and some belongs to visual section, and there is a title or header section. So you can define that as a zone name. And one of the useful option, if somebody wants to document your Tableau dashboard, which we are going to post a video around that as well, wherein there is a script which is built to document your Tableau dashboard, how your dashboard is designed, what are the fields used. In such scenarios, with this zone name, you can automatically come up with a document API. So we will soon post a video which will give you an detailed information around that. But for now, you can think zone name is kind of giving your containers a kind of description, or grouping them to one particular section, so that it's very easy for you to make any changes when you wanted to do for a particular section of containers. And the next this is one of the most requested one, which is basically show or hide the containers. Just let me actually show you a demo how does that will look like. Okay, let me go to the presentation mode. Imagine this is your dashboard, and usually what we build, the kind of dashboards we build is we keep our filter sections either on the left or on the top, which is static, means those filters will always be available and visible for your end users. Now with the help of show and hide the container concept, you can actually use, as you can see here, if I click on this particular section, all my filters for this dashboard will dynamically pop up now, and you can make changes in whatever filters you want to apply. You can do that, and then you can go back and minimize that. So this is going to give a better user experience for the kind of users, or imagine you are building a dashboard for CXO, which are executive level of users, and it gives a neater look and feel to only see the visual, and filters can only pop up whenever there is a need of it. And similarly, if you see another concept, I clicked on I. So usually, say you're building a dashboard for non-tab users who doesn't know how to use Tableau and what are the features of it, right? So one of the concept is, let's say I clicked on I. Let me just click on it. Let me try again. Yeah. So now this is another way of representing how and what are the elements used in your dashboard. So dynamically it will now kind of self-explanatory wise, it will tell you that if you click here, this is the filter and this is your graph, the such kind of. So maybe this is a very useful feature, and you can come up with your own ideas and utilizing them. Just one limitation with this feature is, any objects, the entire dashboard which you are going to build, it should be a floating one, so it doesn't work with a tiled version. So that is one of the limitation. But if you have a dashboard where you can there is a scope of using it as a floating objects, then certainly this is going to be a miracle for improvising your dashboard experience. Let's go to the next one. Now URL action improvements. So if in a scenario, what we used to have is, uh, you want to dynamically pass the URL, right? So before we just have a static URL, okay, and you will not be able to pass some values as a URL parameters for the action filter. Now what is going to happen here is, you can define a web page object for, if you see here, Wikipedia is our URL, and within that category, so you can see there is a web zone for particular region. So from your dashboard you can take something as an input and dynamically pass to load those web page objects. So maybe I'll make a detailed video on this, on how you can utilize that. Okay, and some of the improvements which we have got in Tableau server is, I think it started supporting and the Jdbc driver. So Jdbc is a better data provider for your data refresh, and it has a faster performance compared to the existing ones. And the second one we have is, there are a lot of improvements on the PowerPoint with respect to exporting. There used to be cropping issues, and some of the objects would go out of the scale. So there are some improvements on the PowerPoint, and basically PowerPoint is the most exported feature used by the enterprise users. So there is a lot of improvement on that side. And the next is, whenever you log into your Tableau server, it can be irrespective of any users. There is a new UI compared to the previous one. The look and feel and new UI has been improved. So maybe you can, whenever you upgrade, you can just log in and see how does the start page will look like. And then second option, we got another improvement, which is basically, you have an option to save a view on Tableau server. Now you can actually save it as a private, as a viewer, because before you used to have an interactor or a higher level of access, but now as a viewer you will still be able to save it as a private view, which only you will be able to use and see. particular view. And the other improvement we got is now you can create and edit your parameters directly in your browser. It means any dashboard which is published on Tableau server, you can click on edit, which is basically web authoring. Within that, now you can create a new parameter or you can edit the existing ones. And there are some of the improvements on the data driven alerts. So maybe I'll make a video, detailed video on that, so what improvements has come up on that. Now let's jump back to one of the major improvements we have got in Tableau desktop. So one of the time consuming features which we see when we are developing any dashboard in Tableau desktop is, imagine you are building a Tableau dashboard and there are specific requirements to the font and UI, and you have spent a lot of time to arrange those particular visualization or sheets in your dashboard. Now you got some new visualization come up and you want to replace that section. So in previous version, whenever you replace, all your settings would go off and you have to redesign or resize, set your padding and everything from the scratch. Now with 2019.2 onwards, you will see an icon when you want to hover on it. Let me just quickly show you. So what will happen is basically, let's go to the another sheet. You will see this particular icon, which is basically a swap sheet. So what it does is it will retain your same configuration with respect to padding and the look and feel, and without wasting much of time you can directly replace. That will save a lot of time. You don't have to redesign everything from the scratch. And the second good feature we got is now the sort. So imagine you are building a dashboard and you have enabled some kind of a custom sort, and you don't want your user to play around with that because your entire logic will break when they change your sorting logic. With this option, you can hide the sort control. It means whenever your user views the dashboard, they won't see the sort icon on the visualization. So show hide dashboard containers I have already explained about, so maybe I'll skip for that. And then comes to the reference line. So now there was some scenarios wherein you will not be able to customize the tooltip value when you hover. Whenever you add a reference line, whatever the title or text which shows in the reference line, we were not able to edit that. But in the newer version, now you can edit or either rename that to whatever value you want within the reference line tooltips. I already talked about this. It's basically there is a new look and feel on the Tableau server login page for a better experience. So maybe you can, if you have an upgraded version of Tableau, you can just log in that and have a look into it. So that's about some of the features which I have made a note of it. So hope this is an informational video. Like and subscribe for more. We are coming up with some more good content and some of the real-time issues we have faced and how did we overcome with that. So like and subscribe for more. Have a nice day, guys. Thank you.